And welcome back. Well, a recent study finds that 4 out of 5 women avoid talking about their finances, even with their closest friends and family. So here now with why they may be reluctant is Kathleen Murphy. She's the president of personal investing at Fidelity. Good morning to you, Kathleen.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here. You know, I heard that there's this study that you have to talk about, which is talking about the reason that women are not talking about money. Why don't we talk to others about our finances?
We did this survey and it showed that 80% of women are reluctant to talk about their finances with either their family or their friends. And that really comes from a few different reasons, according to these women. One is that they're not comfortable because they don't feel knowledgeable. Another issue was they thought that they were raised not to talk about money. A third issue was that they deferred to men because they think men are better at math. The challenge with all of that is that women, on average, 9 out of 10 women will be the sole decision maker in their household, either due to death of their spouse or divorce. And so they need to take control of their financial future in order to live the life that they've really wanted.
I think those statistics, those statements that you made are sad, the lack of financial confidence that we as women have taking care of our personal life. Do you think that it's warranted? Is it that we've learned that we're not the financial decision makers growing up? Is that why this happened?
I'll tell you, I'm passionate about this topic because it's completely unwarranted. Women are absolutely capable of investing their hard-earned money and making it last a lifetime. I think there are some cultural issues in terms of women, you know, growing up thinking that either they should defer to their spouses about financial matters or that they're just not good at it, but it's not true. So first of all, the good news is women do save as much or more than men. So they are saving their money. It's putting that hard-earned money to work for them by having it invested to last a lifetime. And so where women actually hold back is on the investing part. When women do invest, they do as good or better job than men, but too few women take that step of understanding how to invest the money. So again, if you're just saving the money and putting it in the bank, you're not earning any money. In fact, you're losing money because of the cost of inflation. You've got to put that money to work for you by investing it.
So how do we learn to do that so we can change this mindset and change this whole cycle of women and finances?
Well, we all love value, right? And so I'd say, first of all, take advantage of things that are free. If you are working, have a 401k, which is an important part of your investment plan. Make sure you're taking seminars at the workplace or getting materials from your HR department about your 401k and how to invest it. So that's number one. Secondly, there's a wealth of information online to help women learn at their own pace. So Fidelity.com, for example, has a ton of information to help women with the basics of investing. We also offer seminars across the country, and they've been standing room only, where we have women bring a friend, get a buddy, so you can talk about what's holding you back and how to get started. So there's a lot of different ways women can get started, whatever they're comfortable with. But the trick is, get started so you can gain the confidence that you need.
If you're a married couple and you already have this standard of, you know, your husband or the man takes care of the money, how do you have that conversation with your spouse and not feel like you're kind of invading in their territory?
Well, you know, we're coming up on tax time, right? And so it's good to use some time of the year. Tax time is one time where you say, you know what, we ought to get on the same page on these financial matters. And women don't need to control it. They don't need to know everything, but they need to know the basics. In the research we did in a separate study on couples, we found that women and men are often on a very different page in terms of the level of risk involved in investments, right? And so if there's a market correction like we experienced in 2009, how will you feel about those investments? Women and men in a couples were also on a different page about when to retire, how to retire. And so having those conversations, at least at a conceptual level, will help women get on the right path.
Do you think there's value in having your own accounts and managing some of your own money as a couple? Because I know that money, we talk about often on our show, is one of the biggest causes of stress in a relationship or marriage.
Yeah. So I think, you know, whether they invest separately or together, I think there's pros and cons to that. It's really a personal decision. But having a joint understanding of how the money that you are managing is invested is really important. And so Fidelity, for example, has a policy of trying to have both parts of a couple, both the husband and wife, come in and talk about it together on an annual basis, for example. And so one approach is to have separate accounts, the other is to manage it directly, but it's more about that conversation, because if you're going to be a couple for a lifetime, you need to be on the same page at some point.
That's right. You got to be a team. You're in it together. Thanks so much for being with us here, Kathleen. I appreciate your passion for it.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And here's a website that you can go to learn more about all Kathleen spoke about. It's fidelity.com/women and money.